So today we will see the scripting in the notifications. So how we can like do the scripting and notification if you require. Okay.
Okay.
So how we can design the
We
notification?
discussed it, right? I mean, I think you just showed a glimpse of it in the
Yeah,
previous use case
yeah,
somewhere, right? Yeah.
yeah. So we can design the notifications as you know in the service, right? So let's say I am going to design a new notification.
So what is the use case? I mean,
Use cases, I just want to notify the requester as soon as the request is submitted into the system with the number and other details. Okay.
as a normal, right? And that's
Yeah,
the person who has requested or
yeah,
raised a ticket. Okay.
yeah. So I will just trigger on insert of new record. Home and receive, I will put requester. This. I selected wrong thing. Let me select field here. And then what it will contain. So one thing is like putting the fields. So all fields and like notification of the table. Like if you want to send one field's value in the notification, you have to use it like if let's say you want to send the number. So I want to say like your request. Demo request. And then in between I want to print the number of that request. So number is a field, right? It's a number field. So how you can access that? It should be dollar and then curly braces and then field name. So for number we have the field name as number. So it should be field backend name, not the label which is getting displayed on the form. And then
So it will take it from that particular table, right? So this
yeah,
number.
yeah,
Okay.
the field of that particular tables, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
record and then we can say submitted.
Your demo request submitted. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then another way, as I told, like I just want to say hi, and like you want to say the like hi, whosoever is the recipient, his name should come. So like, where is the recipient in the field? In which field you see like recipient is there? So it's requested for, right?
Yes.
So you can put it like you have the all the fields directly you can select from here. So to avoid the mistake, so like either you can write it like this, or you can
So
do
in the
the
subject line also, can we select that
no,
number?
no subject line you cannot. Subject line you will have to write. You cannot select.
Okay. Okay.
In the body you can select it like this. So let's say
So
I
for
just
example, here we need requested for field, right? So we'll
yeah.
search for it, right?
So I have
Yeah.
here,
Okay.
but here it will give the label and then what it will send as a script. So if you want,
Okay.
you
We
can
don't need to
remove.
write that
Yeah,
label also.
you need to remove it because you just want to send the name of requester, not like any text between it. So you want to say hi requester. Requester means the whatever person will be selected at the time of trigger of this notification, that person will be get replaced with this.
This dollar sign, have you added or is it added
No, it
on
will
its own?
automatically add.
Okay.
So this is how you your like if you want to call any dynamic value in notification, this is how it should be. But if you will select from this field selector like available variables, then it will automatically put it like this only.
Okay.
Then I want to say like your request is submitted. submitted, and then you can use this link to navigate through it. So now what I just want to put the link of that request so that user can click and he can directly navigate to the ServiceNow on that ticket itself. So for
Portal.
that, yeah, portal or backend, whatever you want, according to like that, you can define the link. So there is a by default one attribute available which you can make use of, like underscore like URI. This will basically create a link of the SAM record for which you are sending the notification.
Okay, that we need to manually write, right? Or we cannot select that field
No,
from the.
yes, that you have to write manually.
Okay.
And then you can say like regards or whatever
Service desk.
signature you have. Yeah.
Service desk. Yeah.
Then I will save this. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so now if I will trigger this notification, these all dynamic value will get replaced with some real value. If I go to
Yeah.
Now if I go to emails, so through email logs you can check like whether email was sent or not.
Or if there is any other way to check? Is there any other way to check if mail is triggered or not, or this is the only?
This is the only way. This is the email logs. So here you can see like this was the email address of the system admin. So
yeah,
that's why he has received this email.
Okay. And
Just
if you go back, I mean, just to that list of emails triggered. So in this, if you see the type right here in this type send ready. So what are the different types? I think in case of email is not triggering. So those things.
It could be like sent ready, and then after that it will be sent. If mail will not be sent, it will be sent ignored. If mail will be received from outside, like for inbound cases, it will be like received.
No, so if you see this send ready, does it mean that it's triggered already, or
it's not triggered? It's
okay.
It's sent ready.
About
it's
to.
like ready to send. So like for the email, if you know like the system email trigger should also be enabled. Then only the email will be sent.
Okay, in that properties, right?
Yeah, email properties.
So you mean to say it may not be triggered. That's why it is still showing send ready.
Yeah, because the email properties are not enabled here. Yeah.
So that is something admin needs to do, right?
Yes. So that is admin configuration only. That is instance void configuration. Now if I open this notification and preview this, the dynamic things which we written, if you see, like it is showing directly like hi system and then the name of person, right? Your request is submitted, and then here we just put URI, it's giving the link. Now if you will click on this link, it will navigate. Let me see another screen. It will navigate directly me to the ticket.
No, but if suppose a user is having end row and no role at all, then
you
what
have to generate the portal. You have to provide the portal links in your email.
So this link, how will we create a portal link? Because we just added a URI there, right?
So this is just out of box. If you want to give the backend link, if you want to like put the link of your like portal, then you have to like use the portal link and put you manually that portal link of it. So portal page and ID, the link of portal is different. So whatever your portal is, similarly like whole link you have to get, and you have to like dynamically pass that link. That is something. Right.
But how will the link of the ticket and the tickets we have to provide over there, is it?
No, link of like if you see here also I have this link, and in this link I have this SysID. So the SysID of each ticket will be dynamically passed. So in that case, basically you cannot directly use, you have to write email script.
Okay.
Now, one more thing, if you have observed, here we got, if I go to email logs, here sometime user want like it should show the number instead of just simply saying link, right? Link two times it's coming. So for that, and also you can see the subject and subject number is replaced with the actual number. So if we go to our notification, here there is another, you will say, method which you can use, or function or property URI underscore ref. This will generate the number instead of link.
And with URL on that number.
Yeah, that number will be hyperlink.
Okay. So this is a better approach, right? Underscore.
Yeah, it depends what is your requirement. So ServiceNow has provided you all the things. You cannot say it's better or not. It's up depending upon the client. Like
is this is this called scripts, email scripts, whatever we are doing right now?
No, this is just you can do like it's kind of a scripting, but that you can do directly in the notification body. We will switch to the script part as well.
Acha, okay.
Okay, now if I will submit this record, and if I go back to log again, okay, so another my email has triggered. Now, oh, which one I have opened? The old one. Yeah, so this is the latest one. So I have opened. So now
is
if
it not in order?
You have to, they are like descending order. If you want to ascending, then you have to. So here it's like now it's showing the task number.
Okay.
So this is the one. Another now coming to like there could be a scenario if we talk about our new demo table. Like here we have like our loaner laptop request as well, right? So in case of loan, once user gets the email, you might want like to not just your request is submitted, you just want to say to the user, like in case if the IT request is submitted, you want to say like this is your approver, you need to follow up with that guy to get it approved to proceed further, right? Sometimes the client might get this requirement for you,
right?
So now where are the approvers? If you see on these records, where are the approvers? They are in another table,
User
right?
table.
User table, not user table. They are in
Approver.
approver table, right? So this is your in the approver table. Getting my point? So now but can you find this person like this approver on this table? So here, if we go directly to the notification, let me go here. Notify, where is it? So here, all the fields of same table I can put here. But that requester is a different, like the approver is a different record, right? So approval is the different record and we don't have as a field. So basically I need to glide record in the approver table, right?
Yes.
So that is where like now to glide record I need to write the script. So script you cannot write here. There is another thing which is called notification script. So here you get the link, so you can click either, you can search through here. So these are already some script available which are getting used in different notification. So what you can say, like you can create one new for yourself, and you may put it like approver name, whatever name you want, you can put approver dot name. I'm putting this one. So now here you got certain object available, like in business rule, you were getting current, previous, all those things, right? And on load client script, you were getting, on change client script, you were getting on load, is loading, is template, new value, old value. Similarly, when you define an email script, here also you get some objects. So current is the basically glide record object for the current record, like for which record notification is getting triggered. So all the fields of that particular record, if you want to put use here in the script, you will get through the current object as you were getting in the business rule.
Acha, okay.
The template is the object, like whatever now as you need to put like your content through email script. So to print that content in your body of notification, you use this template.print. So whatever you want to put after all your script in the email notification, you put this. So template is to like putting new lines, printing what you content you want to put in the email body. Then email is the object which gives you if you want to override the subject, if you want to like generate a dynamic subject, there is a no fixed subject for you. You just want to generate a dynamic subject, so you can use this email class. So here it gives you the option like you can set the subject as well. Instead of setting a fixed subject in the email subject field which we previously set, you can calculate it dynamically through script and set it from here as well. Then if you want to set some body content dynamically, you want to generate, if you want to add some recipient also from here, like you want to add someone CC or VCC, you can do using it. So that is why this email object is available. It gives you these things.
Okay.
Then event used in case of basically when we what we say when we have when we trigger the notification through event, right? So in that this event provide us access to those event param 1 and param 2 which we pass through business rule, or from wherever we trigger the event queue. If you remember, in event queue we pass the param 1 and param 2 as a third and fourth parameter. So those parameter, if you want to access in your script, like what is the value in those parameter, if you want to access that in your this script, you can access it through this. Now coming to our use case, what we need to do, we need to glide record the user table. So again, where is here glide record? So as I said, most
approver.
of the time, yeah. So here you will type this approval underscore approver, and then which record from approval table you want to query. Like in approval, there will be a lot of record, right? But which one you want to query? So there is a field on the approval table which saves the reference of each ticket, like for which this that particular approval is. So you can put like document underscore ID is that field should be equal to, which is having the reference of the task for which this approval is triggered, current dot this ID.
Okay.
Now once I got that record, what I want to show in my email, so I can use template dot print. I just want to print, please follow up with whom, with whomsoever is the approver, and we can get that approver name through this object. So we can say like we can append this string, this fixed string with the dynamic value, which will be calculated in the kind of when the record will be submitted in the real time. So gr dot approver. Approver is the field which saves the name of, like, which saves the reference of the approver. So I'm saying just put here the name of approver, follow up with the approver. So now this is how you use script in the email. Like this thing you cannot get directly in the email body because you need to generate the object of that approver and then you have to print the name.
Yeah.
Did you get this script or you want me to explain again?
I got it, but not fully actually, just high level. Actually, what I do is I practice it after your call.
Okay,
And
so
then
if let me again explain a bit. If I go to approval.
So in this, there is like we're using this glide record API only, right? For this email scripting also.
Yeah, it's server side scripting. So glide record is the server side class. Apart from that, we are using template object, right? Template object is new, something which is only available in your email script. So everywhere you will be using most of the same server side classes because this is the server side scripting. Apart from that, like in display business rule, you get something extra called G Scratchpad, which is just available in display business rule.
Yeah, right.
Similarly, if now you come to email script, yes, for query, there is just single class that is glide record. You have to use that. Now to print that in email body, there is another thing which ServiceNow provided, which is just available in your email script, that is template.print.
So template is also like an object or API, like glide record?
It's an object which ServiceNow provided in your UN email script. So you can say it like API, which provides you many functions. Like if you want to put the space, then template dot space is their function. So if you want to print it, then template dot print is there. So like template is an kind of GS kind of object which gives you multiple functions. So like GS glide system, if you remember, it gives you gs.now. Basically, you can take the now time. gs.log, it will print the log. Then gs.add event queue, it will use to trigger. It will be used to trigger the notification. Similarly, template is a kind of class which is available for you in the email script, which has multiple functions like template.print to print the content in the email body, template.space to put the space between two lines.
Okay, and if suppose we need to create a notification and we are using a workflow, so still we will use the same approach or there is a different approach using workflow we need to create?
It depends from where you are triggering. Like body will be same, so body designing part will be same. The triggering it through workflow or triggering it through business rule, just trigger point will change.
As you mentioned that suppose we are sending something for someone's approval, right? And we are telling the user that please follow up with this user for approval. So in this case, where will we write the script or this notification configuration?
So we have already set, right, the notification to the approver is going separately, right? That is the part of approval engine I showed you yesterday. Like as
Yes,
soon as
yes,
you
right,
use
right.
approval activity, system automatically uh, triggers a event because the record is getting inserted in approval table, and that event triggers the notification. And if you want, you can
Correct,
modify.
correct,
Now here is a
correct.
different recipient and use case. Like as soon as
Yes,
some
yes.
request submitted, submitter should or requester should get a notification. So that you can achieve through like insert or update feature of notification, because the record is getting inserted, so you can trigger the notification on insert.
Yeah, that is right. And you are also sending another notification, right? I mean to follow up with any
No, I
for
am
follow
just
up.
putting in the same email.
Acha, okay.
If you
And in
want, you can
case
send.
there is any step in between, like with before that approval happens. So I mean, if we need to send another email just to tell the user that your request is pending with him, right?
So
And
that
you can.
then you have to identify that trigger when you want to send.
Ha ha ha. So, so is
It
it
will
also the same approach we will follow or workflow notifications?
it depends. If we like approval already triggered in workflow, now you cannot trigger ideally, because workflow is betting on the approval activity. Once that activity will be either approved or rejected, then only workflow will proceed further. So you cannot
Okay.
trigger through workflow, first thing. Even you cannot
Okay.
trigger through record if that scenario you want, like if you want to send as a reminder. So in that
Ah,
case you will be using mostly scheduled job only, because there
scheduled
is,
jobs, huh?
yeah, there is no event going to happen on your record as well, right? No event means
Yeah.
there no one is going to update or insert the record for just to put the reminder.
Correct.
Even workflow is stuck, it is waiting for
Correct.
approval. Even record is stuck, so you cannot
Correct.
find any trigger point through workflow or through record update. So only way left is schedule job. So schedule a notification which, like schedule a job which runs for like every 4 hours or 6 hours and checks like which all approvals are pending for demo request. Just trigger the notification to approver,
Okay. Okay.
or to
Okay.
submitter, like either approve it or to submitter like follow up, something like that, because that is the only trigger point. Okay.
So if suppose we will need to use schedule job, and then where we will write this notification using
Noti-
schedule job?
Notification will be designed as notification. You just need to trigger it through schedule job. So you have to use the event queue method again.
Acha.
So you have to define an event, and that notification will get triggered through event, and that event you will call through script include that same gs.event queue method. And the designing and content part obviously will be designed in the notification part, which we are designing right now, similar to that only.
Okay. You mentioned script include. Say we need to call that thing, right?
No, I
Need to
said
trigger.
schedule job.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
Maybe
Okay.
if I said schedule job, that is not correct. But it should be, sorry, if I said script include, that is not correct.
Ha ha
It
ha.
will be schedule job
Okay. Okay.
for this particular scenario.
Okay.
Okay, so what we were using, like if you see here, this is a approval record, right?
Uh-huh.
So that means what we are saying in that script, we are just saying query the approval record where the document underscore ID. If you see, this field name is document underscore ID. Document underscore ID is the request for which change like this approval is getting triggered. So in this field, it has the reference for which particular record this approval is getting triggered. So if it is getting triggered for this change, it is having the reference of that change. So,
Yes.
and then here we have the name of approval, like, okay, who is the approver? So that is what we have written in the glide record. We are just, we are just querying onto the sys approver table. As usual, like we need to tell system, okay, which table you want to query, and then what record from that table you want. So that's what we are saying, like, get me the records which have document ID similar to this record sys ID. then we are just, now we got the object of that particular record, and then we are just getting the approver name. So if you see here, we had the name of approver, right? If we got one of this record, let's say we got this record, then there is a field called approver, right? So we are just printing this field in the email, nothing else we are doing. So because this name we don't have on our demo request, right? This name is available on our approval request record. So that's why we need to do this all query thing and then printing the name in the email. Now, once you are done with writing this script and what you need to print, you are done that. You have to go back to your notification, and then because it's a script written here, your notification don't know because there are a lot of script written in this table, right? So you have to tell your notification, okay, apart from what content is mentioned here, you need to call a script as well, and whatever is getting printed in this script, just print that one as well in the body. So for that, you need to call it like it's fixed. This is how you call. So you need to see dollar curly braces, then mail underscore script, and then colon, and then name of your email script, and then curly braces close. This is how you call the email script in your email body. And you can also use this preview function. So this is, again, I think you already know. So let me trigger a new demo record. And if I go to email logs, this is the latest one. So if I click on preview now, see, it's giving me the name of approver. So if you will go to this task, see, this is the name of approver, right? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, sorry, I was speaking on mute.
Yeah, so this is the approver for this particular task, right? So
yes,
if you go to the email, as we have written, we have printed this statement only through template.print in the email script. So it's saying like, please follow up with, we have put the like gr.the object.approver.name of. So it's replaced the name of the approver, right?
So just to have this name added in the body of the email, we had to write that email script, right?
Yes, because
cannot
we don't have this name here somewhere anywhere. Do you have? That's why we need to write it like this.
Okay, what are the other use cases in this? Like
other use cases similar to like when you need to do you need to send some information of related record, or maybe you want this notification only. Let's say I want, if the request type is HR, I just want a particular sentence to be sent in my email. okay, sometimes like request body client want like, okay, if this notification is fine, it should go like this. Now I just want one more thing. If the request type is HR, then I want to say like, this please be informed like this is a HR request type. So information mentioned in this email might be sensitive. Please don't share, something like that.
Okay.
Right?
So we can add a condition over there, right?
Yes. So like if you will write that in body of the notification, then it will be triggered for each type, right?
But we will select that there is an option, right, to select the condition.
Where?
In the notification when to send.
Let me go to notification. So what you are saying, like I want
when
to
to
add the
send.
Okay, when to send. Okay.
And the condition here, right?
So if I will add the condition like request type is HR, then this notification will just trigger for HR type request only. What about IT in
Yes.
general? There will be no notification
Acha,
triggered.
acha, acha. Okay.
I
Okay.
just want this notification should go as it is. Just I want when it's being triggered for IT type request, there should be a kind of line added like, as this is a HR type of request, so information in this task is sensitive, so please don't share or please use
Got
the
it.
privacy
We need
notice,
to
something
add
like
one
that.
line.
Yes. So if I will, what I will do, if I will add it here, what will happen? It will
It
go
will
every
show for
time,
every
right? I
time.
cannot put condition here. So like I need to put conditional when request type is this, then only. So what I will have to do again, I will have to write the
Notification
email
script.
script. So what I can do, either I can, as I have already written, I can write one more line here, right?
Okay.
So
Condition लगाएंगे ना?
yes. So now again, if I want like there should be a space after this, then only it should. So let me just show you. Then only. So what I want, I now what I can do, I will use if
Request type.
current dot request type.
Okay.
Current dot now request
Underscore type. Equal to HR. No.
HR, and then I want to print this line, else it will not print. So I will use template function class to print it. Template dot print, and then let's say I want to say as this is HR related request.
Please do not share it across like this.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So this will be enough, is it?
Yeah. So this is what you will get, something like that. Wherever you cannot directly put the notification, you just want to get the data from something else. If you want like print this data for particular condition only, otherwise it should not go. This is where you need to do the scripting. So that will come always through email scripting.
The first top 5 lines is like I missed it. So it was already there, right? The first 5 lines in this code.
Yeah, I think I explained like this is the current object which automatically come, which gives you the access to the current records field. That is what we are using, like current dot request type. And then template class, it gives like to print you the what content you want to print. Then email is something we are not using, like if you want to override the subject as well. Let's say you want to override the subject as well, like if it is HR
In
type
specific cases.
yeah, maybe if it is HR type request, if you want like subject should be email, then should not be like what is going for every request. It should be something like anything else. So maybe you can use this one, email dot subject. So you can override the subject mentioned in the notification for certain cases.
We need to write the condition, right? First.
Yes, yes,
type
obviously.
is
If you will write like this, then it is similar to what is mentioned in the subject. So always this will only go. So what
correct.
in what condition you want this, that condition you have to mention, like using if or something.
Tell me one thing. For example, we have a change table, right? And we have a lot of communications, notifications to be triggered related to change. Okay. Now we have different type of changes. Okay. Normal, emergency, standard. So in the subject line, if we want, because we have one standard notification because we have only one table, right? So in that scenario, I think we can change the subject line, right? Yeah.
What you want to put in subject line, it depends on that. If you just want to put the type, then you have change type field, so you can use dollar and field name. It will automatically get replaced.
Okay.
It depends like what content you want to use. If that content is somehow you are not able to map, like if it is a kind of you just want to put what is there in one field, then you can directly put the field there, right? If it is something which is not available on the form, you want to like just put like this content, it is not available somewhere, I just want to put this code. It is something like this, it is not available on the form, I need to get it from another table and then print. In those cases, script comes into the picture.
Yeah, this is hard coded, right? The second statement, HR related and all those things.
Yeah, you can say, but it's like a statement, so I will have to put.
Correct. So if I suppose in the subject line, you were saying that if we need to select standard, normal, emergency, so that can be selected in subject line itself, right?
Yes, because we have like a
type of change field.
Type of change. So like as you put the number there, like dollar curly braces number. Similarly, you can put dollar curly braces type.
Okay.
It's not always required to do the scripting. It's just you need to know, like I have explained two cases where you want to put a specific fixed content which is not available in any field on your ticket. If you want to like put the name of approver and approver is an approver table, you cannot find from the table which is getting triggered. It's not a field anywhere. So in those cases, you need to do the scripting. So I have again triggered it. And if I open this one now.
For our client also, we have written a lot of scripts for notification thing.
Yeah, so these kind of, you would be seeing, if you see here, it's like
there is no space.
There is no space, nothing is there, right? So then you have to put like, you can use dot space class and dot space function.
Okay.
And it's not about space, it's not about a new line thing like that.
Should be a new line, yeah.
So you can use like /n there.
So it will take us to the new line.
Yeah. So if you will go here, then before this, I just what we'll do
/ space
will add the space. Okay. So what I will do.
But there are two functions only available for template.
Yeah. Might be other, but here only two displayed. And mostly you will use this template.print on. That's on. So if you see, there are two going. One is for approval related, which is basically triggering through the workflow activity which you used, and a new record is getting inserted in approval table.
Right.
The another one is we opened the approval one only.
Okay, so yesterday that what we have created a workflow.
Yeah.
From there it is triggering, right?
Yeah. So see, now it's coming in new line. So everything, even if you put like need to print the new line in the, you will use template.print. So /n is something you can put for the new line. Okay.
So what was that other notification? If you can also show me.
That was for approval, right? To the approver. The approver is this Alfonso. So Alfonso is also receiving the email like your request is waiting for your approval. Right? That is.
So does this like remind approver also in regular basis? I mean,
no,
on regular
no,
basis.
there is no such feature out of box. You can create like using schedule job again.
Schedule job is only thing that can be done, right?
Yeah, you can to do the reminder. You need to like run it on the like some intervals, so you can.
So like 3 strike rule we have, right? So for that also we need schedule job.
What we have?
3 strike rule. I mean, we'll send the 3 times reminder for a user if suppose ticket is pending with awaiting user information.
That might be customer specific requirement, something
So
implemented.
generally what happens now, if suppose we ask user to confirm if the resolution is fine, right? A service desk asks, so the user does not take action, right? So after 3 days it will close it. They will close
Yeah,
the
that is something. There is an schedule regarding that. There is a schedule job out of box comes, that is out of box feature. So there is a property in that if whatever days you define, there is a schedule job runs in the backend and takes like, okay, if it's been 3 days since resolution, just close it.
You close the status of the ticket from resolved to close, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is again a schedule job.
Okay.
This notification is getting triggered when there is any approval triggered for a record. For this record, there is an approval triggered, and as soon as approval triggered, in it a record get inserted in approval table. Event is getting triggered through business rule written on approval table, and that event is triggering this notification. I think yesterday we discussed a lot in detail.
So this is an out of the box feature, right?
Yeah, this is an out of the box feature. You can modify the content of this notification as per your organization need.
So that we can see under notification itself, this email notification as well.
Yes,
right?
it's already there. It's you can see even in preview HTML you see the reference like which notification it is. So here you can from here
approval
also you
request.
Can,
okay.
Here also you can like navigate to the notification.
Acha. Okay, so they have written like this. And what is this email template?
Email template is again if you want to use similar kind of content in every like multiple notifications. So instead of writing everything multiple times in the message, you just use the email template. That is what it is.